People who seek advice from dash often find that what they are told can seem true because these seekers of information attribute significance to some predictions and ignore others. The mind seeks to make sense of predictions that in themselves have no dash value, and thus it becomes difficult to prove that the forecasts are dash. Okay, let's look at this. See, every question we are approaching it differently, right? Now look at this question. I want you to let me give you a clue, okay? Pick out repeat words in this question. Don't just randomly give me answers, guys. Pick out repeat words in the question. Seek advice, seekers of information, predictions, the mind seeks. Okay, seek and predictions, right? And another word closer in meaning is forecasts as well, right? To predictions, it's same. Forecast, predictions. So which means, now who are we talking about specifically? If you pay attention to the context, they're talking specifically about some particular group of people, right? So one group of people who are the seekers, they want to know what will happen in the future for them. Who will you go to? They are seeking advice from someone. Who is this someone? It can be an expert, it can be a clairvoyant, it can be a philosopher, right? Those are the options I have for the first blank. Often find that what they are told can seem true because these seekers attribute some predictions and ignore others. The mind seeks segments of predictions that in themselves have no data. Okay. Now you tell me, I want you to think, yes, we are talking about somebody basically wants to know about what will happen to their future. Right? Henna. Forecast, prediction, those are your clue words. Now, because it's a specific context here, experts, philosophers in fact, I think doesn't make sense. Experts in some sort of form. For your information, a clairvoyant is actually a person who can foretell the future. That person is a clairvoyant. Who is a clairvoyant? Who is this person? This is the person, basically fortune readers, fortune tellers, right? So this person is claiming to have what? To have the power to foretell your future events. Now because the context is revolving around predictions, forecasts, future, the right word in fact would be these guys, clairvoyants. People who seek advice from clairvoyants. Now whatever options you gave is incorrect. Go back. Now look, the only option that I have is I have to choose between 2 and 4. Experts is very general, it's very generic. Philosophers, not the right context here. So I can quickly eliminate these 3. I have to choose between 2 and 4. Right? Now go back, let's look at the context. So people who seek advice from these guys, the guys who are claiming to tell you your future, often find that what they are told can seem true. So here, purely, honestly, like somebody said, you have to have the knowledge of this word clairvoyance. Otherwise, you would not be able to get the answer right here. Okay, let's move to our second context. Okay, the mind seeks to make sense of predictions that in themselves have no dash value. So here, why do you want to bring in this word legal? Is there any reference made to legal? Doesn't make sense, right? But here, special value is more generic but at the same time relevant to the context. Right? The mind seeks to make sense of predictions that in themselves have no special value, and thus it becomes difficult to prove that the forecasts are, you might say, accurate, but please understand the meaning that we need in this last blank. The meaning that we need in this last blank is, you actually can't prove it's wrong. It is difficult to prove. That's your clue phrase. Specious in fact means something that cannot be proven. Right? The species means apparently. Apparently means it seems like it's actually true. But there is no way of proving that. But the reality of it is wrong. The meaning of specious is this. Cannot be proven. So paying attention to this phrase, difficult to prove, the forecasts are specious, actually wrong. So a lot of vocabulary here. Right? So people who seek advice from these specific people, clairvoyants who foretell your future, often find that what they are told can seem true because these seekers of information attribute significance to some predictions and ignore others. The mind seeks to make sense of predictions that in themselves have no special value, and thus it becomes difficult to prove that the forecasts are specious. You can't really prove that the forecasts are actually false or wrong, not accurate and genuine. Right? If you get the context right, you'll choose your words wisely, and the answer is option 4 and not 2. Following, let's look at this. Major philosophical dash about morality, identity and rationality, for example, can often be dashed by thought experiments. Short and simple expositions that pose an abstract and complex problem in a concrete manner with all the dash removed. Okay, context. Major philosophical dash. The options are certitudes, dilemmas and dogmas. That's what is repeated. About morality, identity and rationality, for example, can often be... So even if I don't know these words, let's just look at the context, okay? So these something, philosophical something about which probably explains all this, morality, identity, rationality, for example, can often be dashed by thought experiments. So maybe this major philosophical whatever can be maybe explained, because they're talking about thought experiments. You know, with the help of these experiments, maybe you can explain whatever these major philosophical things are. And pay attention to the colon, right? Whenever you have a colon, the remaining sentence is only expanding on that. So the expansion is short and simple expositions that pose an abstract and complex problem in a concrete manner with all the dash factors removed. So how will these experiments actually explain these major philosophical something? By giving you a short and simple exposition, right? That pose an abstract and complex problem. So this abstract, something that you cannot make sense of, and complex problem in a concrete manner, in an easy to understand manner, in a very step-by-step manner, in a comprehensive manner with all the dash factors removed. So maybe unnecessary details, things that you don't need. Yeah. Now let's go back to the context and look at it. As soon as I see the example third blank, right? Pivotal means extremely important. Inherent means intrinsic, something that is very essential. So both these words are incorrect because we are talking about with all the unnecessary details removed, right? If I need to choose a word that is closer in meaning to unnecessary, I will choose extraneous. That's the word. So anything that has pivotal, inherent, pivotal, I will quickly eliminate, right? So I'm not even looking at first blank because, hey, as an example, I'm in your shoes, right? I don't know what certitudes is. Dilemma, I know. Dilemma means some sort of a confusion, doubt. Dogmas, maybe I know, maybe I don't know. So I'm not too sure. I'm not even looking at first blank. I'm moving from third blank. Okay. From third blank, I'm looking at it. Something that has to be removed means something intrinsic, essential cannot be removed, right? Something pivotal means important, like that's priority, that cannot be removed. So I will eliminate 1, 2 and 3. I have to choose between 4 and 5. In 4 and 5, I have extraneous, both I have. Move to the second blank. Be dashed by thought experiments. Here, be clarified, be explained. That's the word I need, right? Meaning I need. So, is evoke the right word or illuminate the right word? Evoke means to produce, right? Illuminate means to enlighten, right? What else? To clarify, to make understandable. That's the word for us. So, having said that, I will choose option 5. Now, if I want to clarify also, I will say dilemmas. Only if you are in doubt and you're uncertain about something, then is when you need clarification, right? So it makes more sense. On the other hand, dogma is something that is very, very set. If something is set and established, fifth option is more substantial, more effective. In fact, if you say dogmas, you're talking about something that has been established by some sort of an authority, usually in the religious context, right? So here, dilemma makes more sense. Because I'm not understanding this major philosophical confusion about this morality, identity, rationality, I want some sort of a clarification. I need an explanation. And how is that explanation? Short and simple expositions that will make all these abstract and complex problems in a concrete manner with all the unnecessary stuff removed, extraneous stuff removed. Okay? Following?